right, is what happens. This is what you're going to see whenever you're having a severe... Actually, hold up. Wow! That's awesome. That was all part of a video. Wow! What's going on, guys? Will again with Icy Spicy. So today, while I came out here, I was starting to see some deficiencies, right? So today we're going to be talking about deficiencies and how you can overcome them a little bit. Let's go. So real quick, before we get too far into this and like we're talking about like deficiencies and how to identify them, I just need you to know that I'm in zone 10A Florida, and what's good for me might not be good for you, but some of these best practices are going to help you a lot whenever it comes to finding out like what is going on with your plants. Now, a foolproof way to know immediately if you have, oh Jesus, malfunction, I have something on my ear. These bees are really not impressed with me being out here because they're freaking hungry and they love the garden. But anyway, it's Icy Spicy. I'm not pissing them off. But anyways, that's my point. Like, you can see some stuff is happening here on this branch. Right, you can see what I'm talking about. Ultimately, you can tell if your plants are getting pollinated, that's awesome. But if you look at different areas, you know, different things, you can be doing the same thing for all your plants, and different plants are going to react in a completely different way. Like, that's the cool part about gardening in general, man. Like, all of these things have their own personality. That's how we get kind of attached. Now, one thing about owning a nursery is it's my job to make sure that these things are ready to go for you guys. And yeah, check that out, man. These are extremely happy. But anyways, so one thing that we can do to kind of keep on continuously feeding our plants is, I want to show you. Now, I like to take a Folgers can, right, and put, this is going to smell great, like define great. If you can, do a zoom in on that later too. But anyways, this is coffee grounds and banana peels, you know, two things that we always keep in the house. One is going to help add nitrogen, right? Look, when you have little leaves and stuff, that's a good indicator that you're lacking some nitrogen. And the other one, banana peels. And banana peels are a really good source of potassium. And potassium is one of those things that not only helps you keep your legs from cramping up after running, but it helps these develop some fruit and prevent that blossom end rot. Calcium's also a good thing, so throw in some eggshells too. But check this out. Whew. This is what I call the bucket. Right now, it's not bubbling right now, but earlier it was, right? A couple of days ago. This is kind of done. So I just keep on adding these in here. And what happens is it turns into like my own little banana water. I know for a fact it's going to have that nitrogen and potassium, right? So you can tell these bad boys are ready to drink something. And another way to tell is if you put your finger in here, right into the soil. If it's dry, about up to your first knuckle, that means they need some water. These things are thirsty if drooping doesn't tell you by themselves. Now, keep in mind, like I said, we're in the middle of October, right? It's the 20th. Forget what day it is. Anyway, we're in the middle of October right now. While our friends up north are getting ready to overwinter and chop down their plants, we're just now kicking off and we're still sweating, guys. Right? So we got to make sure that these plants are being treated just like it's the summertime, because it really still is. All right, so this is a really good example of bad phosphorus. Phosphorus, I know what I said, but anyways, if you're missing phosphorus, like, yeah, they all heard me. I'm not going to put them on camera right now, but yeah, phosphorus and that blossom end rot will lead to that. Potassium. Banana water, folks. All right, so the next thing I feel is like pretty important, and like you're going to see this a lot. And I've got a really good specimen from the Santa Fe Grande pepper is this right here. Now I could pluck it, right? Take note of where we see this, and I'll try to fix it up a little bit, and you can be the judge of it later. But I want you to really pay attention. Let me zoom in. Whenever you get those dark green veins, right, that's letting you know it's got the nitrogen in the plant, right? Obviously, this is really happy soil. But that yellow, I think they call it chlorosis, right, is what happens. This is what you're going to see whenever you're having a severe, like, let me emphasize that, severe magnesium deficiency. And so I kind of did this on purpose. These are two identical plants. One is like this, no Epsom salt, and then this one has been getting Epsom salt. You see what I'm saying? Now, obviously, some of the trace like evidence is down on there on bottom, but you can definitely see whenever you're getting the smaller fruit, right? It's hard to tell, but this one is turning ripe and it's barely big like my fingertips. But if I come over here, the same goes for jalapenos. This one's got a little bit better, you know, from Epsom salt, and you can see the size difference like immediately. You see what I'm saying? So that's a really good indicator also. This thing's looking sad, but we'll give it some Epsom salt and it'll bounce right back. Now this is a ghost pepper that we've been growing out. It's one of my mother plants. I sold one earlier for about 50 bucks. That was pretty cool. Just spreading the love of hot peppers. But anyways, last night we were looking and I could have sworn I seen some white fly signs. I don't see any. And what I can do is I can just shake it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If you see some stuff flying around, that's a good indicator. Right? If you got a tomato cage, that's kind of, you know what? Bonus points, this also helps pollinate if you don't have a lot of airflow, because in Florida, you know what I'm saying, we got the 70% shade cloth. Anyways, I don't want to digress and make this video too long. Anyways, let's get over here. Check that out. So here we have light yellow, right? Light yellow, that's a really good indicator of low nitrogen. Also, if your leaves are dropping, that's another good indicator that you're missing some phosphorus. We get different aspects in the garden all the time. Every plant has their own just personality, really. Leaf curl, calcium, it's got plenty of nitrogen. Let me know down in the description on the next kind of video you want to see. This is Icy Spicy. We tokenize all this. If you want more information actually that is just free at your fingertips. Oh wait, look. Let me stop shilling. I had someone in Deficiency forums telling me I don't have insects that pollinate my... Anyways, I digress. icyspicy.com, icy-spicy.com. Go to Spicy AI. You get all this sort of information absolutely for free. And the AI is fully on chain, which is pretty cool. Anyways, this is Icy Spicy Nursery. If you're in Southwest Florida and you're looking to get a head start on your garden, like especially Southwest Florida, guess what? You can grow year round. You know what I'm saying? We are. Anyways, guys, I appreciate y'all coming out. I gotta water these things up real quick.
I'm just realizing you're out. Oh.
Hi. I love my family. I love my wife. Anyways. So anyways, guys, if you found any sort of value in this content and you learned something, consider hitting that subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss another episode. And if you actually learned something and found some humor, consider pollinating that like button. It's going to do the wonders. It's free and really help support the channel. And love you guys. Let me know down in the comments where you're watching from so I can give y'all a shout out later. Actually, before we go, I'm adding this in at the end of the video because I told you all I do is put those things in there. And you see that little ghost pepper? If you have any green peppers that fall off of here, that one got knocked off from pulling up the other plant. But if you get any of those, you just throw it into the mix too. What ends up happening is the sugars and everything else, it starts to ferment out here. It's pretty nasty. It bubbles up all pretty good. And whenever we came out here, I need to water these cucumbers. But anywho, I guess I can give y'all a quick little garden update. But yeah, those little green peppers, that extra capsaicin, it's like a little natural remedy for bugs. But anyways, bell peppers are doing good. Oof, some more bell peppers. We're growing some tea leaves. which that's awesome. And then over here, some more Carolina Reapers and Death Spirals. Of course, come over on this side, a lot of Apocalypse Scorpion. These are part of an experiment. That's why I'm letting them get all kind of woody on the bottom. Anyways. Whew, this thing's needs some water. Ooh. Oh, Lord. It's hot today. Yeah, this is hot water right now. This is Florida. You can look and tell. Yeah. But it's hot today.